Hello, my name is Al Bodzin, and I am honored to share our VR development work from Lehigh University and the Lehigh Gap Nature Center. We established a design partnership that includes Lehigh University faculty, students, and Lehigh Gap Nature Center staff to design and develop an immersive virtual field trip to enable people to understand the environmental changes that occurred in the Lehigh River watershed in Pennsylvania during the past 2 centuries as a result of the zinc smelting plant operations at the Lehigh Gap. In our design partnership, education professors with backgrounds in learning design and content experts in the natural sciences collaborated with non-formal educators to promote awareness of environmental issues. A green mountainous ridge became a barren moonscape as a result of zinc smelting activities that began in the 1890s. The smelting plant emitted approximately 3,450 pounds of sulfur per hour from 1918 to 1970, along with heavy metals, into the atmosphere. These pollutants produced acid rain and spread over the landscape. 5 years after the smelting plant ceased operations, a comprehensive revegetation project was initiated by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and a local community group. The Lehigh Gap is revitalized today through a mixture of warm season grasses that have trapped the heavy metals in the soil. Our VR field trip tells the story through immersive experiences. Our design includes a virtual hike in the refuge through a series of 360-degree photospheres, animations, and assets to allow learners of all ages to experience historical events and geographical landmarks that are difficult to access or are no longer readily available. In our iLRN conference session, we will discuss important considerations for creating effective design partnerships among non-formal educators and university faculty. For now, enjoy a tour of some features in our VR field trip. This is the Lehigh Gap VR field trip. There are 2 different modes. One is story mode, which is a guided tour with Brownie, and she'll take us through some various interactivities in a series of 360-degree photospheres that are along a trail at the Lehigh Gap Nature Center. The Explore mode is a self-guided exploration where you can jump around to the different photospheres and still experience all the interactivities, but without the narration from Brownie. So we're going to walk you through a few of the photospheres in the story mode. So when you enter, what you can see is that these are a 360-degree photosphere. You can turn around to move around to see what the landscape looks like. This is the Lehigh River. This is the Kittatinny Ridge. And please note in the upper right-hand corner, there's a checklist. And the checklists are things that we have to do in this photosphere and to complete to move on to the next photosphere. So in this one, we have to click on Brownie to listen to her, and then we'll look at an interpretive sign, and then we'll move on. So let's go ahead and click on Brownie.
Welcome to the Lehigh Gap, my home. My name is Brownie, and I'm going to take you on a little trip to see and experience the history of my home, and have some fun along the way. The large house is the Osprey House. This marks the beginning of the LNE Trail, where you will begin your adventure. This house is primarily a green building, using solar panels, super insulation, and a geothermal heating system where the heat comes from the earth itself. This house became open to the public in May 2003. Currently, the Osprey House serves as a physical space for the Lehigh Gap Nature Center headquarters. The LGNC partners with schools to develop experimental nature programs and field trips for students.
Okay, now Brownie's telling us to click on the info sign, and this is a sign from the Delaware and Lehigh Historical Corridor, and this one's about the Lehigh Valley Railroad Station. So there's some text and graphics. You'll notice the magnifier glasses. If you click on those, that'll just bring up a zoomed in version of the images and also some of the text associated with those images. And you'll see these throughout the VR field trip.
Once you're ready to move on, press the arrow to follow me along the trail.
All right, let's follow Brownie. Alright, so now we're in a different photosphere. This is actually the entrance to this trail. It's a trailhead here. And we have some rocks, and we'll be able to do some interesting things with those rocks, but let's talk to Brownie first.
Oh, look! What's that shiny rock over there? Looks like a piece of zinc. Zinc is a metal that occurs naturally, but most zinc finds its way into the environment because of human activities. These include mining, smelting metals, such as zinc, lead, and cadmium, steel production, or simple zinc transportation. Zinc from the nearby New Jersey Zinc Company was used to make batteries and other materials as well. When you look around, you will find pieces of coal, zinc, ore, and other important stuff on the ground. Pick them up to learn more about them and add them to your collection. Click on the coal to pick it up and interact with it.
Okay, and so if you notice on our checklist, we have 4 rocks to interact with before we can move on. The first is anthracite coal, and with each mineral rock, we can rotate it by pressing the R key. We can zoom in on it with our Z key. We can use the X key to zoom out, and then when we're done, we just hit the A key to release it. So here's quartzite, another piece of coal, not as shiny as the anthracite that we see, and sphalerite.
When you're ready, follow me.
All right, let's find her. And there she is. All right, so Brownie's telling us we've got 2 information signs in this photosphere.
The New Jersey Zinc Company opened its Palmerton plant to produce metallic zinc, zinc oxide, spelter, and specalization from materials mined in Sussex County, New Jersey, and Friedensville, Pennsylvania. The plant included over 31 buildings on 200 acres of land. The zinc they produced was sold to other companies to make various products, including tires, paint, and high-quality brass. It was transported using the railways that each of the companies owned. The plant went out of business in 1980. The company designed and built the entire town of Palmerton beginning in 1898. Palmerton was named after the company's president, Stephen S. Palmer. Some of the things the company provided in the town were a hospital, schools, a library, a water system, a community center, park, streets, sewer system, and employee housing. Palmerton was built to support the workers and their families' daily needs, such as access to education. The company provided employment for many people in Palmerton for almost a century. One fun fact about Palmerton was that the first public bath was built here.
Okay, and there's 2 interpretive signs on this. One is about the New Jersey Zinc Company West Plant. And right here, what you're looking at across the river is the area where the West Plant actually was. It was in front of all these houses that you see here. These were old workers' houses. And then this is a test plot for the revegetation process, and we'll learn about that in our last photosphere.
When you're ready, follow me.
All right.
The zinc extraction process produced high levels of liquid waste and sulfur dioxide. The sulfur dioxide traveled into the air and produced acid rain. Other pollutants that were produced from this plant included heavy metals such as zinc, cadmium, and lead. These heavy metals contaminated water and air, which affected the habitat of the plant and animal life living in the gap. The acid rain caused by the pollution also leached away the nutrients in the soil the plants needed to grow. As the plants withered away, so did the animals, since their food sources were disappearing as well.
And I hope you enjoyed this tour.